Before I start this video, I just want to say that this video is for you, so all the media used in this video is criticism, review in a transformative way. All the information I present is public information and everything else is a legit or joke or just my opinion. So the first thing that I want to talk about is James Charles. And technically it's like two separate stories, but they're both about James. The first one involves Gabriel Zamora. So since James Charles has admitted to sexting underage boys, he's been in a bit of trouble in regards to how his reputation is online, obviously, because just don't sex underage boys and it wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, a lot of people have been trying to distance themselves from him, including the D'Amelio sisters, and as well as Bella Porch. She invited him to be in her music video and she didn't uninvite him. I feel like at that point it was maybe a bit too late, but she overcame, she adapted, she improvised, and she basically just made sure that he wasn't seen throughout the video. Like his face was always covered with like smoke or something, and he wasn't in the credits. And like if you haven't seen the music video, like the credits is like pretty fucking obvious in the way that, like, I don't know how to describe this, but it was this big ass box with a clip of their part of the video, like that they played for the music video, as well as, you know, like the name. It was like a very, you know, out there kind of, this is who they are and they were in this video kind of thing. And James wasn't there. It wasn't like one of those like end of movie credits where like he could easily miss the name of somebody. Like it was pretty fucking out there and he wasn't there. But anyway, James recently posted like a little birthday post. Like he came back again. He came back to tell everybody about the lawsuit. And like, it's so slanderous and defamatory and I never did any of this, that and the third. And then he came back again to let everybody know that his fans wished him a happy birthday, I guess. What the fuck was that about? But he posted this with the caption, "Just wanted to say hello and thank you so much for the birthday wishes and love. It means a lot." And you see the top comment over here is by Gabriel Zamora and says, "Happy birthday, sister." There's also a bunch of just supportive comments at the top by people like Eris MUA, Galax, Danielle Markin. And the comments under that say, "Oh, okay, this is happening. I don't know if this was meant to be positive or negative, but that's what it says. Leave. When I tell you I screamed, James OMG, I missed you sister. Please tell me you're back." So his fans are still very much prominent, but there are also quite a few people who just don't want him back because of the things that he admitted to. But again, notice how Gabriel Zamora not only liked it, but commented under that, wishing him a happy birthday. Now, the reason I bring that up is because he also talked about James Charles in his podcast, where he basically said that James Charles is not a pedophile because he doesn't actively seek out people who are under the age of 18. And that he essentially just ended up going for people who happen to be underage because he's into this certain look, which is really kind of just like, you know, scrawny kind of boys.
So I was like, okay, like, and he's showing me like guys from Tinder and like all these things. And I'm like, okay, like, yes, you like, he doesn't mind dating a guy who's like a year or two younger than him. I've always been like, why do you like guys like your age? Like, y'all are all scrawny. Like, they're in a specific look that I can totally understand that I'm not attracted to by any means, because I'm like, oh no, like, I just don't like how the TikTok boys look. That's just not my thing. That's for other people. Please show me and tell me why I should believe you as opposed to what's going on the internet. And from what I saw and from what I heard, he is not proactively seeking.
Now, the vibes of this is very much like, obviously he's like, literally James Charles is not a pedophile, but also a lot of people aren't pedophiles. Like to be a pedophile is to be a very specific thing. It's like when Maps on Twitter are like, I'm not a pedophile, I'm like an amoebophile, or whatever the fuck they say. Like, I'm not, like, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? You go for underage kids. You go for people who are not legally able to consent. You do, like, just stop. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, he might not, like, be an actual pedophile, but it doesn't matter whether or not he's an actual pedophile. It doesn't matter whether or not he was actively seeking out guys who are under the age of 18. Because at the end of the day, what he did was predatory. Even if they were, like, over the... It doesn't... He's predatory. And at the end of the day, he still sexted underage boys. It really doesn't matter. Like, why are we getting caught up on the language of it? Like, actually, he's not, like, literally a pedophile. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. And also, why is he attracted to that look? Why is that what he's going for? It's, again, the vibes, the taste, the flavor is very much... It's similar to the very much, like, pedophilic beauty standards for women. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like if you want to be considered like beautiful or like hot or whatever the fuck, in today's society you have to be petite, you have to be skinny, you have to be cutesy and naive and like innocent, but in a way where like somebody could ruin you. Kind of like, oh, I'm a virgin, but like if you fuck me then like I'm yours forever, use me as your sex toy kind of vibe. Like what is considered attractive for women is incredibly disturbing, similarly to how what James finds attractive is incredibly disturbing. Now the topic of James Charles was also brought up in another podcast, this one hosted by Elle Mills. Elle invited Chris Klemens onto their podcast and was asked about, you know, like tea they had about like celebrities, influencers, whatever the fuck, and this is what he said.
Do you have dirt or tea on a YouTuber, influencer, or celebrity that the public doesn't know? If so, who?
I wonder if I'll get sister sued.
Oh, okay.
There's someone who I used to be friends with, Mr. Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when he got his CoverGirl thing. We were like friends.
Okay.
Oh, no way.
And calls me one day and I'm at work and I was like, hi. And he goes, oh my God, I just got CoverGirl. He's like, oh, that's amazing. He's like, oh my God, you're the first friend who picked up the phone. I was like, okay. Should have known right
I was
then and
gonna
there
say, that's a
that
red flag
something
right there.
isn't right. And so he was in the city and he was talking about like his first CoverGirl shoot. And he was like, I just found out that Katy Perry and Zendaya are also CoverGirls and I can't wait to like, you know, get in with them so then I can be on their level. And I was like,
Oh.
what?
Now what I'm about to say, like my opinion is pretty lined up with the general kind of comments that are under this, but like he didn't do anything wrong here, you know, like you're allowed to want fame, you're allowed to want to be on Zendaya's level, you're allowed to want to be friends or want to like hang out with celebrities. In this situation it kind of seems like Chris is more clout chasey than James Charles, because it seems like he is using petty tea to get attention, you know, from like James Charles, his name, when he's dealing with like serious, heavy scandal. There's something wrong with sexting underage boys. There's nothing wrong with wanting to like be on Zendaya's level. Thumin, who is a YouTuber and artist, posted a video regarding blackwashing, and they basically discussed why they thought blackwashing is okay, which is basically, it's occasionally whitewashing, but, you know, turning people black instead. Like if you were to take a character who is ethnic, who is a person of color, and make them white, which happens reasonably often in like, you know, big kind of mainstream media like Hollywood and shit, because nobody wants to hire people of color to like be main characters. The woman was discussing blackwashing and why they thought it was okay. Now obviously blackwashing people of color is incredibly different from blackwashing white people and white characters, and I don't think blackwashing people of color is okay, because the entire point of like blackwashing being okay is because it increases the representation. And how is it a good thing if you're removing representation from somebody else, especially if it is from Asian characters or like just Asian people in general, in literally anything other than anime. If I'm remembering correctly, then Asian people are the most underrepresented group in like all of Hollywood and mainstream media. So yeah, I don't think blackwashing in that kind of thing is okay. But self-inserts are not blackwashing. Just if you happen to be a black person who drew yourself into something as like the main character or as your favorite character or as whatever the fuck, that's not blackwashing, that's just a self-insert. And as Thumin described it, it's basically a form of cosplay but just in art. And also, blackwashing is not an invitation to be racist. Apparently a lot of fucking people need to be taught this, but blackwashing is not an invitation to be racist, especially when no blackwashing actually happened. So what happened was Thumin drew themselves, as in like self-inserted themselves, into Kiki's Delivery Service, which is an anime. And apparently this got onto the wrong side of Twitter because a bunch of people found this picture and then decided to draw racist caricatures of black people. They also received a bunch of shitty DMs and comments like, fuck you, you fucking hypocrite. Blackwashing is okay, but whitewashing is bad, you fucking hypocrite. Kill yourself, kill yourself. You should just shut the fuck up and die. Whitewashing is fine and you're a fucking racist asshole for blackwashing Kiki. This is why gorillas shouldn't do fucking art. Which, hello? If you're gonna say, how is, okay. So whitewashing is fine, but blackwashing is racist. Sounds like you just don't like black people, man. I don't know what to tell you. When Thumin spoke out about getting drawn as a racist caricature, people responded, lol, get fucked. First off, those are funny, and the first one is actually creative. Second, yours is pretty good too, but since you blackified a non-black character, you're open to blackface critiques yourself. Third, who cares? You should be honoured you inspire people to mock with effort. Serves you right for wanting to blackwash an Asian character, these are fucking hilarious. And also these messages, which I'm not going to read out, because if I did, I'd only be able to read like 50% of them anyway. And when Thumin tried to report these DMs, Twitter said, after reviewing them, that they didn't find a violation of their rules, which actually isn't that bad compared to what Instagram did, which was end up removing and flagging Thumin for speaking out about the racism that they were facing in a post. It was removed for hate speech or symbols. And when they requested a review of their photo, Instagram doubled down and said that they reviewed the photo and removed it for violating the community guidelines. Despite the fact that when Thumin reported the comments under that post, nothing happened. And the comments were literally people like spamming the N-word and shit like that. The post that they made was literally screenshots of the messages she was getting and saying like, this is not okay, this is disgusting, like, I shouldn't have to put up with this, no black person should have to put up with this, and that got flagged down. But you're allowed to spam the N-word and nothing happens. And Instagram fucks me off. Their rules are actually such bullshit. Because I love getting in arguments with like racists and shit in like Instagram comments, and every single time, not every time, I'm fucking lying. I've never ever seen the person in the wrong get taken down. It's never happened. People can say like, I don't like black people, or say the N-word, or be like, all black people should die, or this, that, and the third, and literally be like, the KKK is looking for them at this point. But they're fine, they're perfectly fine. But I'll call them a cunt and then get removed. Anyway, fuck Instagram. I love the responses regarding this, and Thumin speaking out about people drawing racist caricatures of black people is like, at least it's funny, or like, this is funny so it's okay, that type of beat. Why is it funny? No, explain to me why it's funny. Yeah, people finding humor in that can be considered fucked up. But putting that aside, sure, you found it funny. Good for you. I'm glad you got a laugh out of it. But that doesn't mean that Thumin isn't allowed to be hurt. The person that is actually targeting and the person that it's supposed to be racist against decided that it was offensive. Decided that it hurt their feelings. So you're allowed to find these pictures funny. But that person that it was literally like targeted against is allowed to find it racist. So if we're all collectively agreeing, okay, you can find this funny, then you have to agree, okay, they got their feelings hurt. This is like not a good way to give them backlash and what was supposed to be criticism for an opinion that you didn't agree with. So that's kind of just where we are at the moment. They've made 2 videos about it, and you know, people are speaking out and they are getting support, but at the end of the day, like, their post still got removed. Instagram and Twitter, but mainly Instagram, are refusing to take down the posts that are harassing them, the DMs that are harassing them, the comments that are harassing them. So that's all there is to it. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you liked this video, if you liked me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, make sure to get in contact with my teachers, because I bet you have a lot in common, and make sure to stay safe and stay hydrated.